Good evening, students. Um, in previous video, we have seen authentication techniques in the fifth unit. Okay, this is the syllabus I have on screen. Okay, now we will proceed with design flaws in authentication. Okay, quickly we will jump into the topic. So here I have the title, that is design flaws in authentication. So this is nothing the disadvantage. This is a disadvantage we have, and these are the problems we have in the design. Okay, so these are the problems we have. For this, we have to find the solution. For this, we have to find the solution. Okay, so this topic is completely about security of credentials. Credentials, what we are giving. Okay, it may be a password, it may be a username, it may be a password, it may be a your debit card number, whatever you are entering into it, which you think is a more credential, like your Aadhaar number, your CVV number. These all things are very confidential, so that this will not be explored to any other person throughout the network. Okay, so these are the things we have to focus. So what problem we have? What problem we have here? Those things we have listed here. I have listed here. So one by one we will see. Okay. First one, a weak password policy. Weak password policy. This you see. First one is allowing short or simple password. Example 12345 6, and setting password word itself as a password. Okay, and this one are very simple. So that if you are using this thing, definitely the hacker will uh, crack this, and they there are some possibility they can log in into your page and they can steal your information. Okay, they can misuse it. Okay, so this should not be allowed. Okay, next, not enforcing multi-factor authentication. So if you are in not including, consider if you are a developer for a website, if you are a developer for a website, these are the things we have to consider. So if you are not including MFA, so MFA I have explained in the previous video itself. If you are not aware of this, please go through that video and come back to this one. MFA, if you are not including in your web page, which means a login page. In login page, we have username password. After that, we have to put some other factor also to authenticate your page. All right. So you can put you can raise a question that, oh, enter your date of birth year. That also one type of factor for authentication. That also we can use. So wherever necessary, there you can use what multi-factor authentication. That also you have to focus. Coming to next one, no restrictions on commonly used passwords, which means so when you are giving username, when you are doing sign up, for example, sign up for what purpose we are doing? Sign up we are doing to open a new account, right? Sign up in other word we can say registration, right? Registration. So when you are doing registration, you have to give the proper information. In registration itself, the username password will be generated. Those things will be getting stored into what? Database. Those things will getting stored into what? Database. Let me clear this. I don't have sufficient space to write. Okay. So when we sign up in any page, definitely, 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 we are definitely we are going to what? Username and password we are going to give, which means create username, create password will come, right? CP. So I mentioned here C U. Here I mentioned here CP. Okay. So this will appear. After that, you will click on sign up. Once you click on sign up in the database, these two credentials what you have entered, those things will be getting stored. Okay, those things will be getting stored into this server, your username and password. So once the registration or sign up is done, immediately the next screen will come login page. In login page, we will be having a text boxes, username and password, and here we have login button. Okay, so you will enter password here. Sorry, you will enter username here, and you will enter password here. When you click on login button, immediately these two things will be taken and it will be verified with the server where the data has been stored. Your username, password has been stored previously. There it will get compared. So once it is compared and verified and validated, what is verification and validation? Validation means the data already what we have, it should be matched with the data what you have typed presently. Then only it is validated. Okay, validated means then it is verified also. So the response will come to your page. It may be anything. It can display the particular homepage of that website what you are accessing, anything, right? If not, this response will not come. It will show some incorrect password if you are entered wrongly. Okay. So now, what no restriction on commonly used password? Here you see, if you give 123 here, 12345 here during the what sign up, during the sign up or during the registration itself, it has to show your password is not strong. Okay, it's not strong. It has to show. Then only you will come to know. Okay, we have to set the strong password. Right? We have to include symbols. We have to include uppercase. We have to include lowercase also. So these three combinations we have to include. Then and then only what and number also. So alphanumeric and symbols. Okay, then only that will be considered as a strong password. Okay, okay. Next, excuse me. Next, lack of rate limiting. So what is lack of rate limiting? See, no protection against brute force attack. So brute force attack already we have seen in the previous video. You can check it. Brute force attack means you're trying to log in any web page, So what will happen? Uh, for example, your friend login, you're trying. So for example, Instagram you take. In Instagram, if you are trying to log in to your friends through your friend's account, obviously you will not come to know the password. So you will not know the password. What you will do, all possible things you will try. First, you will put uh, the person's date of birth, like 19, 8, 20, 20, 20. It means 2002, for example, 2002. So 1908, 2002, for example, if you are entering. So what you are doing, actually you are assuming is a date, assuming some password may be the date of birth, password may be the name of the person, right? Name of the person, password may be the uh, vehicle number of the person. Okay, possibility is there. No, you may know the vehicle number of the person. So by assuming some random passwords, you are trying to access a web page. This activity is called as what? Brute force attack. Okay, this I explained in the previous video itself. You can watch it. Next, failing to implement account lockouts or captcha after multiple failed attempts, which means when you are trying to, best example, ATM machine. And also you can take example of GPay. In GPay, you see If you enter a wrong pin, MPIN, you know, right? MPIN you will use for open the GPay app. After that, for transaction purpose, we will be using some other password also. Some other password also we will use, right? In any one of this, okay. If you enter three times, three times wrong, what will happen automatically? The GPay will lock it, right? Or lock itself. So this is called attempt. This is called um, this is called a security to save the particular web page, because the third person also can use your GP, and he can use he can use this technology. Which one? Brute force attack. We can use he can use brute force attack to access your page, right? The possibility is there. So when you are trying some attempts, when you are trying some when you are uh, um, trying some attempts, in that if you are getting failed, which means the password is wrong, that time what it has to do? Automatically the page has to lock itself. Coming to ATM machine, you see in ATM, what are the possible things we have? We have option only to enter three times. First one is, if it is first attempt is wrong, it will allow for the second one. If the second one is wrong, it will allow for the third one. And it will intimate also for every attempt. It will show you only two more attempts are there. One more attempt is there. Then finally, this account will be blocked for 24 hours. Okay. So this statement says that thing only. If you are entering multiple time wrong credentials, then automatically it has to lock. If you are not implementing this thing, then this website is not going to be what? The good one. Okay, we can say that we have very less uh, authentication flaws. We have authentication flaws, more authentication flaws in this. What is flaws? Flaws means nothing. Actually, it's a great disadvantages. The disadvantage we have for this particular website. Coming to insecure password storage. Coming to insecure password storage. Let me grab this. Storing storing passwords in plain text instead of hashing and salting them. So hashing technique we have seen in the previous video itself. Hashing is nothing, it's an encryption. It's a encryption format. So we have encryption format like MD5. Okay, MD5. We have SHA1. Okay, and we have some popular one like Bcrypt, and we have Organ. Okay, presently we are using these two, Bcrypt and Organ. So this are all outdated. These are all outdated one, so we are not using it. Okay, these are all outdated. Actually, where we are using this MD5 and SHA1. So actually, in system itself, in practical, we have seen we have installed some servers, exam server. We have installed Tomcat, Apache Tomcat. So for this purpose, and we can use what MD5 and SHA1. Automatically, it will take. So these options are there. Okay, these options are there. Once you create in table in a database, then your password will be storing into what, in the MD5 format only. So for example, password 1235 if you are giving in database, it will be storing like some symbols at the rate of 15AB. So this is the encryption code. So the statement says that strong password in plain text instead of hashing and uh, storing password in plain text instead of hashing and salting them. So in this method, if you are following, then this website going to be very strong. Okay, the website security will be very strong. Next, using peak hashing algorithms. So uh, weak hash algorithm, already mentioned that MD5 is the peak hash algorithm. What is MD5? What's the expansion for this? MD stands for MD stands for message digest. M stands for message D stands for digest. Okay, message digest. And SHA, S stands for simple hashing algorithm. Okay, SHA means simple hashing algorithm. So we can use bcrypt and argon2 instead of what, MD5 and SHA1. Next, flawed session management. So here we have to talk about token. So exposing session token in URLs. See, tokens will not be shown in the URL. So what is URL here? You can see I have the URL on top. So this is the URL. Okay, and this is the URL. This is the URL we have. See, exposing session flow tokens in URL means session token should not be displayed on the URL. So here I can point here. This is a URL. You should not show the tokens on the URL. So we have something called as get method and post method. Already we have seen get method. Whatever wherever we are use this all things what we are giving in that particular page, that will be displayed on this. Whereas when you're using post method, that will not be shown. So post method, it will take the messages, the credentials in the form of bits. Okay, next, not invalidating session on logout or password changes. So the meaning of this statement is not invalidating sessions. Invalidating session on logout or password, which means when you are making a request, already we have seen in theory and class itself, client, if you make any request, some session timeout has to be there. Okay, when the server is giving a response, there also session timeout has to be there. In these two cases, we have to keep what, session. Okay, if you are not using session to clear the particular request, then it will be buffering in your system continuously when till it gets the page. So it will buffer like this continuously. It will buffer for a long time if you don't have session. So session timeout is important. Okay. Next, using predictable or weak session IDs, which means the session ID should not be predictable by the any persons, because session ID, if they are identifying, which means if you're designing a particular page to explore your session ID to everyone easily, they can take your informations. Okay, that and all you have to focus while designing the uh, uh, login form. Okay. Next, improper implementation of multi-factor authentication. So here it says that we know very clearly multi-factor authentication, it saves our data. It saves our data, which means it saves our web pages from attackers. Okay, web pages of the attackers. We will be having multiple web pages in the server. So this all has to be follow this all types. So multi-factor authentication we have to implement in our pages to save our page. Save in the sense to secure our page. So allowing easy bypass of multi-factor authentication via social engineering. So social engineering, by using some by assigning some people to hack a particular web page to crack it. So they are very familiar about the web pages where we can attack and where we can crack it. Okay, so this should not happen. Next, using SMS-based authentication without backup security measures. So SMS-based authentication means OTP. Okay, OTP we will receive. See, OTP it will come to your number, not through the what internet. That you have to understand through the internet. Even if you don't have internet connection, the OTP can be received. Okay. Next, not enforcing multi-factor for sensitive actions. See, multi-factor authentication is very important for any web page where we can enter username and password. Okay. So passwords reset. When you're resetting the password, there also we have to keep some time bound. Okay, so these are the things we have in the improper implementation of multi-factor authentication. Next, insecure password reset mechanisms. So what is insecure password reset mechanism? Reset link that never expire, which means once you are allowing a person to reset his password, we have to keep some expiry session. Say, for example, if you want to reset it, if you are taking the process for a long time, definitely there are some possibility they can access your system. They can access your web page because it uses cookies, it uses tokens, it uses some tokens, and it uses some um, captcha also. So what we can do is we have to set some session timeout for your password reset. Okay, using security questions with easily guessed answer. For example, see if I'm trying to change my password in Gmail. After changing the password, it may ask me like enter your year, date of birth year, or uh, uh, enter your maybe my um, vehicle number or in my Aadhaar number. There are some possibilities, right? This should not be easily guessed by the what any other people. That is the statement says here. Next, allowing password reset without verifying user identity. So this is the best example for you can experience this thing. I think so. After entering username properly, then you can reset the password. But once you fail in this username, entering username properly, then you are unable to update your password also. So first of all, we have to give your information properly. So once you give your username properly, then only you are able to. Once you give your username, then only you are able to update your password also, right? So the username itself is the identity. Then you can reset your password. Coming to exposing sensitive information in errors. So for this, you see, when we are doing practical programming languages, for example, Java you take, any other languages you take, when you compile the program, it will show some errors, right? When you have error, it will show, and also it will show the line as well as what type of error it will show. See which line we have the error and what type of error we have, that also will be shown. So it has to show obviously because we have to understand where we have the error and we have to clear it. We have to bring the output. For our understanding purpose, this message is pop-upping on screen. Okay, but it should not happen here. It should not happen in the website. In website, if the error shows like this, then obviously the hacker can attack. Okay, this is the error. If we clear it, then we can get the information. Possibility is there, no? So that this should not be shown. So exposing sensitive information in errors. Which type of error? Like that, if you're trying, then easily you can spot. For example, you see multiple credentials we have, for example. In any one of the credential, you have given a wrong information. And it should not show that it may be a date of birth. You have error in your date of birth. If the web page shows this thing uh, clearly on the screen, then obviously hacker can predict your date of birth and he can put here and it can be validated, everything validated, then he can access it. Possibility is there more. So that exposing sensitive information in errors should not be allowed. So returning different error message for invalid usernames and incorrect passwords, hiding enumeration attacks. Next, revealing too much detail in logs or API responses, which means nothing, the same thing. Okay, so revealing too much detail in logs or see logs and APIs nothing. See APIs we are using to develop. Wherever API if you are including, then we will be having some statements inside that related to this API. For example, you can take in Java util.scanner. So util package if you are using, definitely scanner method will be there inside, right? Then if you explore that what API you have used in the web page, obviously he can predict that this particular scanner may be used in that. So what information, what may be the information he may have, like that they can predict and they can take it. So this and all should not be shown. Okay, coming to using outdated or insecure authentication methods. Let's see, we have internet. We are using internet from, I think, randomly. Telling you this thing. I don't know exactly. 19, 19, I think 80s. In 80s only internet had come. I think so. Okay. See, from that time we have used several authentication methods to verify the person is the right one to access the page, right? So now few methods, which means few authentication methods has been deprecated. So what is a deprecated? Deprecated means removed from the authentication methods, right? So in Java also you might have seen some of the method has been deprecated. For example, applet has been deprecated from the Java, even though we have in practical. So we have to install applet package separately, then we have to use. Okay, nowadays the Java versions don't have applets inbuilt, so we have to install it separately, that package, and we can use it. Okay, another example we can take in web technology, we have Java X. Okay, Java X. Uh, the Java, instead of Java X, we have presently Jakarta. Okay, so Java X, it's an outdated one. Okay, Java X package. It's an API. Actually, Jakarta is an API we have presently. So this has been updated to what? This one. This is outdated now. Okay. Similarly, some of the protocols are outdated. Now HTTP, you see, we have HTTPS. HTTPS for authentication. Okay, it's the HTTP basic authentication and NTLM also outdated. This also we have to focus when we are designing what? When we are designing web page, we have to focus on this all problems. Okay, this all problems we have to focus. This one, everything from 1 to 10. So next, the last two, not validating and protecting tokens. So already I spoke about the tokens. The token also should keep somewhat expiry. If your token is not expiring for a long time, definitely there are some possibility the hackers can remove your information. So using JWTs without expiration, with expiration it has to be okay, and failing to sign or encrypt tokens. So why we have to encrypt the tokens? Encryption means we know the normal text will be converted into plain text, sorry, ciphertext. Ciphertext, okay. Plain text, normal plain text will be converted to ciphertext, that is encryption. Decryption from the ciphertext to plain text. Okay, so this we have to take care. The encryption we have to implement. Encrypting tokens. Next, allowing replay attacks due to the predictable token generation. So token generation by the application, it should not be predictable by the third person. Should not be predictable by the third person. See here, I am telling some third person. That there is nothing. Client from where you are accessing, from which device you are accessing the web page which is in server. Okay, this is one, this is two. That's it. One-to-one communication. The some other device, from some other device, somebody is accessing something from the medium or to the server or to the client. This is considered as what third person. This was third person only I'm talking about. So this is unauthorized person, no? Okay. So wherever I mentioned the third person means that the 420. Okay. Take care of them. Next, allowing unrestricted account enumeration. So here allowing attackers to determine valid usernames via login, error messages, or forgot password forms. This is similar to already we have seen this. Yeah, exposing sensitive information. Okay, so by username itself, they can predict what are the possible passwords, right? Similar thing only we have. Allowing unrestricted account enumeration means, see, actually, what is enumeration? Enumeration, automatic number it is. Okay, for example, in an array, if you have data like this, A, B, C, D, okay, automatically numbers will be assigned for that 1, 2, 3, 4. So if one is standing in username and the two is standing in password, if I identify this one, definitely in second position, if I have in second position, I will be having password. If I have this knowledge, the opponent also will be having what the same knowledge. What he can do, he can predict my password easily. Okay, that is the thing we are seeing in this enumeration. Okay, allowing unrestricted account enumeration. Next, exposing user list via public APIs. So API means what? Application programming interface. This we have seen very recently here. Yeah, here's API responses. The same point only. Okay. So this is all about design flaws in authentication. Okay. Thank you, students. We will see in the next video.